Actually, this year, right from December, the poultry industry has not really, you know, been thriving very well. Because of how things are. I mean, a whole lot of things have happened. Purchase of chicken and eggs, you know, didn't actually go well because the sales were so down. I mean, people didn't because they're referring to the fact that I mean things were very expensive. Egg prices were expensive. Chicken were very expensive. But then, yes, that is how it should be. You remember, I mean, December I announced, of course, I mean, new prices, for the eggs and also for chicken. Because that was the meeting that we had. The poultry farmers met in the region and also in national materials. I mean, the skyrocketing prices of raw materials, which is no fault of, I mean, anybody, but that's the world market was actually has been very bad because of the number of tonnages of maize and soybean that China is buying into their country. You remember when we had this kind of we all heard about this pig fever or pig flu that happened in China, that millions and millions of pigs were thrown away, were slaughtered and killed, dumped because of this pig fever. It became a very big problem for them. Even before that, they were patronizing these raw materials of maize and these commodities of maize and soya so much to the extent that, I mean, prices were on the higher side. I mean, they've thrown everything. These all whole pigs that they were, rearing, they threw all of them away, and now they have to, refill their pens. So that is why today they are buying 23.5 million tons of maize out of the market, which has affected every part of the world because now commodity prices have just gone up. Today, I mean, before elections, of course, one would say that, look, maybe we have to be calm a bit to let things go how it should be, how it should go. But then now elections are over. We want to see the country running in a proper way, whereby we will see to it that jobs are created. I mean, I've always been saying that the poultry industry can employ lots of people. The livestock industry, can employ lots of people. How many people are, rearing pigs in this country, and how many people are also doing poultry? Most of the poultry farmers are going to fold up if we don't put a proper policy plan for the poultry industry. And that is why I am so serious, and that is why I'm coming out, because we've had several meetings, and our farmers seriously are, most of the farmers are collapsing, and we need serious intervention on the side of all the stakeholders and also from the government. There should be a very strong policy or a strategy to help, save this ailing industry. Otherwise, I can tell you by 1 year by this time, all of us will fold up. And if we fold up, that means we have to drive all those workers that we have, home. And that is not a good sign at all. And so what I would say for now is that government should intervene immediately. I've been talking about this, so many months back, so many years back. If nothing is being done, we will face a major problem. Now again, we all know that agriculture helps deepen our GDP. We know government has to go borrowing, and based on the GDP is went by, sometimes, a country receives some funds from outside. And if agriculture is a big contributor to the GDP. Then, of course, we need to look at poultry. Poultry, of course, which helps a lot. Because if all these 415 million chicken that we import into this country are being reared here in Ghana, do you know how many people it's going to employ? The poultry sector is going to employ a lot of people. We've been saying this every day, but I don't know how serious, it's been taken. And that is why this time round, in fact, poultry farmers, now they are even threatening to demonstrate, which is not good. But some of us, need to tame certain people from all of that. But I feel that we need to speak and let the minister take some sort of, coming in with some sort of interventions. Otherwise, it will be a problem. It will be a serious problem, because we are not going to sit down for our businesses to collapse. Now, what is happening on the other side? If China is re-strategizing, of course, to bring their pig market, or pig rearing, they are refilling their farms and their pens and all, and of course to export to other countries, then why do we have to sit down? For those who are in the business, doing the business already in Ghana, and of course rearing the pigs, rearing the chicken, why can't we be supported to increase our production? None of the poultry farmers are getting good facilities from the banks. None of them are getting, good. The pig farmers are not getting good facilities from the banks, as well as we're not getting any support. This time round, elections are over. We need to face the fact the poultry industry is collapsing and it needs a strong intervention. The government has to come in to help us. Someone will say that, yes, Boris B., of course, you're close to the government. Yes. Sometimes you can also say certain things and advise certain things to the government, but sometimes you need to speak to the public. That all of us, stakeholders, everybody should come. All of us should come together and see how we can better it. Because this time round, poultry industry, look at the price of eggs. The price of eggs, because all the prices of all raw materials are so high. Our ladies who are who are selling the eggs are not buying the eggs because the price of the eggs are so high, and it's no fault of any farmer here in this country. The prices are up because the raw materials are too expensive. And some of us who are raw material dealers, we cannot do anything because that is what we receive and that's what we can give. So I would advise that we should have a plan, that the finance minister should probably, meet the agri minister, so we can have a plan for the feed of the birds of the.
Ne bona e dinti ma ye di bi kan wo seba ya yeso ye ton a ye benya bi nti ama akosua no se ne bona e den pa akoso se de esitie na ne to ne wo fom ti e pa se ka chiro mo se yeso mo ala mo ma akosua no enuru no ani ni ma no mo memu enwu kakra ma ye ni ntimi nton akosua no ese nkola no mo klo mo ntimi nto bi kla ni so nkula di kosua omunyai protein ni ade nti o se nkula no mutimi di kosua ne mo e ma wo ti esema la ye mo ma kosua no mon kan che wo mo ton enuro no na mo di ma wo mo famfo no na ye nya kosua ne bi ni emfa ntoma nkula no esa nkula ne ntimi ntobi pere mu bi wa kula oto a busa bo kula na o twemu na o kon bebe on to kula no dia